Hi guys, it's Simon from Tech My Life Video, and I'm back because it's iPhone time. I haven't made any videos recently. I've been focusing on a few other things, so hopefully in the future I can make more videos. But I'm back because it's iPhone time, September 12, 13 in Australia, because we live in the future. Apple have their media event. So let's get in and talk about some of the things that have been happening. Let's start with this. So leaks, there's been heaps of them, heaps and heaps. Now, there was a leak of the iPhone 4, and somebody got hold of a device and they if you haven't looked that up, look it up. But basically, Gizmodo, I think it was, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, got a phone in a bar and blah blah blah, and it all kind of, Apple very secretive, and that all came out. But this time there have been leaks galore, and I'm wondering whether, looking back at that, it didn't affect sales. Maybe it helped the share price. Maybe it helped just with news and buzz and things. Maybe it helped with maybe the lack of kind of negativity you get after an Apple launch, where people go, well, it still doesn't have this and this and this. I don't know, but I'm thinking that it potentially relates to that, in the sense that they went, we spend so much money trying to keep these things secret, and it doesn't affect sales. You know, we get less media when we do that, so why don't we just start leaking stuff? So I think they potentially allowed the leaks. Yeah, look, that's just an idea, it's just a theory, but it'd be interesting to look back at share price and sales and all those sorts of things and see what happened. So the name, will it be called the iPhone 5? Well, the invites went out, they have a 12, but they have a number 5 in the shadow. So theory is that it'll probably be that, but it could be 5 products. Soldier Knows Best, somebody that I follow, you may follow him as well, suggested 5 products. So it would be an iPhone, it'd be an iPad mini, Shuffle, Nano, and Touch, iPod Touch, so maybe 5 products. But look, probably an iPhone 5. I think people identify the phones by the numbers, probably even more so than the iPads. Otherwise it becomes a little bit difficult if you call it the iPhone. Then what happens when you supersede it and it becomes an alternative, a cheaper device? You go, well, do you want the new one or do you want the old one? You don't want to call it the old iPhone. So it's better to give it a number. I'm not sure how they're going to deal with the iPad. They could give it the year, so if they're doing one iPhone a year, one iPad a year, it could be the 12, just as a tag, not just iPhone and then brackets 12 or to 2012, but again, that has the feeling of it being outdated and old, so I think they'll stick with the number, and that invite suggests that. So the screen, bigger screen, taller screen, no wider but taller. That means that the phone is still going to be fairly small in the hand, and you're still going to be able to use it with one finger. One of the downsides of the larger devices like the Galaxy 3, it is quite large, larger than I want in a phone. It's a beautiful device, beautiful screen. However, it's just a bit massive for a phone. I prefer my phone to be a little bit more compact, and I've got big hands, so using it is I can use it with one hand very easily. The Galaxy S, I certainly can't use it easily with one hand. There's just no question of that. So I think the screen, yep, longer, 4 inches, resolution somewhere, I think it's 1136 to 640, something like that. So big resolution. Of course, a Retina display. It will be a nice screen. Moving on to the design. Well, the design and shape, well, we've seen all these pictures, and here's a few of them as I talk. Basically, we're looking at a slimmer design. We're looking at some sort of metal back, potentially, with space at the top and the bottom for antennas to kind of leak their signal out, although the band around the outside looks very similar. The antenna on the current phone is shithouse, to be honest. Mine still drops signal. Don't drop calls so much, but when I'm holding it, trying to text message, it drops all the time because I hold it quite tight, because I'm worried about dropping it, because it breaks if you drop it because the design is so bad. Glass back, stupid rubbish. You know, okay, it's alright if you're a billionaire because you just buy a new one or fix it, but the design has some issues. Hopefully the front is Gorilla Glass on the new phone. Hopefully you can, you know, drop it and not break it. Obviously it's going to ding, and you're going to get some scratches, you're going to get some dings in the metal if you do drop it, but at least it's not going to smash. I mean, my old 3GS, I dropped out of the car and kicked across the ground. You know, just a few little minor scratches in the plastic, which soon softened down and you forgot they were there. With the new phone, you scratch it, or it just shatters. I mean, the amount of people I've seen with broken phones. So the design is quite similar but slightly different. But you know, it's an evolution rather than a revolution. The dock connector. The dock connector has got smaller. The old dock connector is massive and has been a problem in terms of changing it, because there's so many products, so many devices out there where you could use your iPhone 3G, you could use your 3GS, you could use your iPhone 4. Some devices you could even use your iPad. You know, those devices have just been able to evolve, and because the connectors stayed the same, the marketplace has been safe. Whereas now, with the dock connector changing, it throws that all into a fair bit of turmoil, I guess. Some quite expensive devices are going to kind of become a bit obsolete. But in some ways, the manufacturers of those devices aren't going to be annoyed. They're going to be happy because they're going to go, well, people have to buy a new one, new beauty. They can't just keep using the old device with their new phone, or their old speaker dock or whatever it might be. So those people aren't going to be unhappy about this. I mean, the consumer, yeah, hey, you're going to have to buy a new one. But all in all, the old dock connector was very fiddly. It was kind of like a plug which had a little blade that went inside once you plugged it in. It's the new one looks much simpler, simple paddle. Ultimately, it's a good step in the right direction for Apple, and it's a vast improvement. I mean, it's like USBs evolving and other connectors evolving as well. So it is a good step, and it looks like it's happening, and it's time. The headphone jack. Well, the headphone jack on the iPod Touch has always been on the bottom. On the iPhone it's on the top, and I think that's to do with the speaker and the microphone, because it has to have a microphone and a speaker, unlike the Touch, which has just had a speaker. So I think they probably always wanted to have it on the bottom, but they couldn't because they didn't have room. Whereas now they put it on the bottom. Now I must admit, when I take my phone and I put it in my pocket, I drop it in head first because I'm holding it in my hand. I lock it and I put my hand into my pocket. I just turn it and put it in. Whereas when I've got headphones, I have to actually flip the phone as I put it into my pocket. So it actually makes sense ergonomically, at least for me, that the headphone jack works better on the bottom. So the headphones themselves, jumping away from the phone for a sec, but sticking with the headphones. We've had some new designs. Now I've actually got some old ones here. They're the current earbuds, and these are another set of earbuds that you see with other devices, and they've got the squishy adjustable thing and blah blah blah. Now look, these ones aren't that good for different size ears. Basically, they don't sit all that well. They don't sit all that well in kids' ears and things like that. However, these ones, I feel, as a musician and an audio engineer and somebody who cares a lot about the hearing, these ones cause a lot of pressure in the ear. They actually seal your ear quite a lot, and cause a lot of pressure on the eardrum. I'm worried that these, down the track, like Jane Fonda workouts, are going to lead to a lot of lawsuits where people have got hearing damage or eardrum damage from them, from a lot of the beat-driven music that people listen to these days with these headphones, whereas these don't seal anywhere near as much, and the new look Apple headphones along a similar line. So I'm wondering if that's why Apple are actually avoiding these. But if that was the case, you think they'd put a press release out and say we're avoiding it because of this issue. This is why we do the headphones. I haven't had any problems with the headphones. Sound quality is not that great, but sound quality from any in-ear headphones is not really all that great. So that is another potential thing, new headphones. And look, a few other little things just to finish off. The camera position seems to have moved. It's moved into the top at the center. In terms of the antenna, as I mentioned, I don't think that's going to really change. I think it may still be a band around the outside, and it's awful. Nano SIM, so the SIM card getting even smaller than the micro SIM, if they're not small enough as it is and fiddly enough to kind of work with. NFC, look, I'd like to see it because it brings a whole new way of paying for things. When you're going to the shops and you want to pay for something, you just use your phone. So NFC would be cool, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of reports that it won't have it. And in terms of the really techie stuff, the talk is A6 chip, so faster than the iPhone 4S, of course, the next step up. That being said, the iPhone 4S at the moment is still, you know, it just copes with everything very, very easily. No sluggishness at all. It'd be interesting to see in a year's time. When I got rid of my 3GS, it was really struggling. So it'd be interesting to see if the iPhone 4S is struggling in a year's time, or whether we've kind of had a flattening off with the kind of the general processes that you use in terms of the operating system versus the speed of the devices. So it'd be interesting to see, or whether they just keep on cranking, and you know, in a year's time, my iPhone 4S is, you know, slow, sluggish, and unusable. So I have to wait and see on that one. So yeah, that's kind of basically a bit of a wrap of what's going to happen this week, or my thoughts of what may happen this week at the Apple event. It'll be interesting to see who makes the announcements, how they do it. Will there be one more thing? Who knows? It's Apple. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like the video. Please join in the conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please keep any comments kind of G-rated. There may be kids who come on and look at this stuff. So, you know, keep it polite if you can. I know there's a lot of Apple hate out in the world, and a lot of kind of fire back the other way. Why can't we just all get along? But basically, yeah, please comment. I try to respond to all comments whenever I can. Look, I'll see you in the next video. I'm Simon from Tech My Life Video. Bye. Ironic that I'm drinking Pepsi. I'm reading Steve Jobs' biography at the moment, and I believe the guy that kicked him out of Apple in the first place was formerly the head of Pepsi. Sorry, I haven't made any. I'm jingling and jangling a little bit, so I just put them inside my shirt. Oh yeah, and I'll change my hair. You see? It's that colour now. Hi guys, it's Simon from Tech My Life Video, and it's like some sort of Star Trek kind of thing.